Welcome again to this in-depth tutorial where we will learn how to add point, line, and polygon graphics to a map using the ArcGIS Maps SDK for JavaScript. In this session, we will break down each concept in detail, explain the code, and give you a solid understanding of how to visualize geographic data on your maps. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to create interactive maps that users can interact with, such as displaying pop-ups when they click on graphic. Learning objectives. By the end of this tutorial, you will learn what point, line, and polygon graphics are and how to add them to your map, how to use geometries and symbols to create visual elements on a map, how to add attributes and pop-ups to make graphics interactive, key concepts such as spatial references and how they are applied when drawing shapes. Graphics are visual elements used to display points, lines, polygons, and text in a map or scene. Graphics are composed of a geometry, symbol, and attributes, and can display a pop-up when clicked. You typically use graphics to display geographic data that is not connected to a database, a GPS location. There are some key definitions related to this lecture. Point: a single location on the map defined by longitude and latitude. Line: polyline: a connected sequence of points that represent a path or boundary. Polygon: a closed shape representing an area such as a park or a region. Graphic: combines geometry and symbols to visually represent geographic data on the map. Geometry: the shape or location data such as a point, line, or polygon. Symbol: defines how the geometry looks, including its color, size, and style. Attributes: data associated with a graphic such as names, descriptions, or IDs. Pop-up: an interactive window that displays information when a user clicks on a graphic. Spatial reference: the coordinate system used to map geographic data. It's what ensures that all the points, lines, and polygons are drawn accurately on the map. It's what ensures that all the points, lines, and polygons are drawn accurately on the map. Setting up your map. The first part of the lesson involves setting up a basic map with ArcGIS Maps SDK. The map is the foundation on which all your graphics, point, line, polygon will be added. Now open the Visual Studio. And create page called it Add Point, Line, Polygon. And write code normally. HTML contains SDK for CSS and JavaScript in head section and contains the required script definition. In the code, replace the access token. We know where to get the API key. Explanation: a map and map view. Map creates the map itself, and map view sets how the map will be displayed on the screen. The center property sets the geographic coordinates, longitude and latitude, and zoom controls the zoom level. Base map. The base map defines the background layer of the map, in this case, the ArcGIS topographic style, which shows geographic features like mountains, rivers, and political boundaries. Add modules. In the require statement, add the graphic and graphics layer modules and define it in function. Adding a graphics layer. A graphics layer acts as a container for all the graphics, points, lines, and polygons that we will add to the map. Graphics are not stored in a database but are drawn dynamically on the map. A graphics layer is a container for graphics. it is used with a map view to display graphics on a map. You can add more than one graphics layer to a map view. Graphics layers are displayed on top of all other layers. In other words, a graphics layer is a container for graphics. It is used with a map view to display graphics on a map. You can add more than one graphics layer to a map view. Graphics layers are displayed on top of all other layers. Explanation. Graphics layer. This layer stores and manages the graphics we will draw on the map. You can think of it as a canvas where we will be adding our points, lines, and polygons. Adding a point graphic. Points are used to represent individual locations, like a place marker on the map. In this code, we create a point graphic using graphic and style it using simple marker symbol. In other words, a point graphic is created using a point and a marker symbol. A point is defined with longitude and latitude coordinates, and a simple symbol is defined with a color and outline. The point and simple marker symbol classes are used to create the point graphic. Create a point and simple marker symbol that will be used to create a graphic. Create a graphic and set the geometry and symbol properties. The graphic class will auto-cast point and simple marker symbol when it is constructed. Explanation. Before explaining the code, there is something important you should know. You hear the word AutoCast a lot. What does it mean? AutoCast simplifies code by allowing the system to automatically convert values into the correct types, making development faster and reducing the need for repetitive code. It improves readability and reduces manual conversions. Example of using AutoCast. Let's consider a simple example where we want to define a map center. Normally, you would need to create a point object like this. Without AutoCast, manual object creation, here you had to create a point object for the map center, which involves more code. With AutoCast, now, with AutoCast, you don't need to create the point object manually. Instead, you can pass the center as an array. In this case, the ArcGIS API automatically casts the array 140 to a point object, saving you the effort of writing that extra code. How AutoCast works. Automatic conversion. The system detects when a value can be automatically converted, AutoCast, into an object that the API requires. For example, arrays for geographic coordinates can be cast into point objects. Numbers for zoom levels can be cast into zoom settings. Object construction. When you provide a value, the API internally constructs the necessary object based on the type it expects. If the input value is valid, it creates the appropriate object. Anyway, let's go back to explaining the code. Geometry, point. Geometry refers to the specific coordinates, longitude and latitude where the point is located. Symbol, simple, marker. Symbol defines how the point will look, color, outline, etc. Symbols are important for making the point visually distinct on the map. Graphic. A graphic is used to combine the geometry, location, with the symbol, visual style to create something that can be displayed on the map. Adding a line graphic. A line graphic is created using a polyline and a line symbol. A polyline is defined as a sequence of points and a spatial reference. The polyline and simple line symbol classes are used to create a line graphic. Lines represent connections between multiple points, such as roads or paths. This code uses a polyline, a sequence of connected points, and a simple line symbol to create a graphic. Define the polyline and simple line symbol that will be used to create a graph. Create a graphic and set the geometry and symbol properties. The graphic class will autocast the polyline and simple line symbol when it is created. Explanation. Geometry. Polyline. A polyline is a collection of connected points that form a line. Each pair of numbers represents longitude and latitude for a point. Simple line symbol. This symbol defines the appearance of the line, such as color and width. Adding a polygon graphic. Polygons represent closed areas, such as a park or a lake. This code creates a polygon with a fill and an outline. Explanation. Geometry. Polygon. A polygon consists of multiple connected points that form a closed shape. In this case, the rings array contains the points that form the boundary. Simple fill symbol. This symbol defines the color and outline for the polygon, where the color includes an opacity setting. Adding pop-ups to graphics. Pop-ups make the map interactive. When users click on the graphics, a window will appear displaying information. Explanation. Attributes. These are data fields associated with the graphic. You can add custom attributes like name and description. Pop-up template. This defines how the pop-up will appear. You can use attribute placeholders like name to insert dynamic values. Excellent. After we have finished writing the code, we now want to test the code by running the page. To clarify more about how layers appear based on their type, whether they are points, lines, or polygon, you can see here about controlling the layers hiding from the code. This is the points layer. This is the lines layer. And this is the polygon layer. Very good. The page has been successfully launched. We congratulate ourselves for reaching this level of success. Conclusion. In this tutorial, we learned how to add points, lines, and polygons to a map using the ArcGIS Maps SDK for JavaScript. We also covered how to make these graphics interactive with pop-ups and explored the key concepts of graphics, geometries, symbols, and spatial references. Evaluation. How well did you understand the process of adding and styling point, line, and polygon graphics? Were the pop-ups easy to implement for you? Would you like more examples on how to work with external geographic data? In the next tutorial, we will explore how to add feature layers, making your applications more powerful.